Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today we're practicing a slow hip opening flow. I like this one especially if I'm holding anxiety in my body. Many of us hold it in the hips, so if that's you, come along. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and let's get started. Alrighty, my friends, welcome in. Find a comfortable seat on your mat or whatever space you've created for yourself. Just cross one shin in front of the other or take another comfortable seat of your choice. Let the hands rest on the lap, let the eyes close. Just take a moment here to tune into your breath. Just to notice that you're breathing today. Maybe there's an inkling of gratitude there as well. Just giving ourselves a moment here to come back to our center, to come back to ourselves. Giving the nervous system a chance to slow down, to relax. When you're ready, let the eyes open, and then you'll stay seated and just extend the legs long in front of you. On your breath in, hug your right knee in towards your chest. On your breath out, let the knee open to the side. Inhale, lift the knee back up. On your exhale, right hand comes back behind you, left arm gives that right knee a hug, turn over to the right. And then the gaze can follow the twist, but don't put any strain in the neck. Just keep hugging, giving that knee a hug. And then come back to center. Open the knee to the side and then pick up the foot and cross it over your left thigh bone. So it'll be above the knee if you can. Some of us might stay here. This might be enough. Some of us might lean back onto the hands and slide that left foot up towards the hips. And this will create a little bit more of an opening in the outer edge of your right hip. And then you can sway side to side, almost like you're driving a big truck with one of those big steering wheels. Or you can stay still. Try to keep that right foot flexed. Seems I have a little bit of a fuzz on the bottom of my foot. Try not to get distracted by that. Good, and then gently release your left leg long again. Step your right foot to the mat, and then extend the right leg long. We'll just take the other side. Hug the left knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side. Pick up the knee, step the foot down onto the mat, and then this time, left hand comes behind, right arm gives the left knee a hug. Make sure that that right foot in front is flexed, and just turn yourself to the left. Sitting up nice and tall and taking the gaze back behind you, only if it's accessible, only if it still feels good in the neck. Good, and then come back to center. Let that left knee open to the side, and then pick up the foot and step it over your right knee. So the ankle is going to cross over the knee, but it's going to be above the knee, more on the thigh. And then lean. Some of us will stay here. This might be enough to feel an opening in the outer edge of the left hip. Otherwise, you can lean back and slide that right heel up towards the seat. And then use the hands to move the chest closer to your left shin. And once again, you can rock side to side. Not mandatory. Stillness is good here too. Try to stay with your breath. Try not to hold the breath or allow too much tension to build if this is uncomfortable for you. Just breathing, choosing a variation or a modification that ultimately feels pretty easy for you. There's no need to go past our edge or stay at our edge for a super long time where we can't breathe. You can see the edge, but then back off of it a little bit so you can breathe. And then slide that right heel down again. Step your left foot to the mat, and then extend the leg long. And then this time, both knees come in towards the chest. Let the knees open to the side. Find Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose, this butterfly shape. Take the hands behind you, press into the hands, and just lift the hips up just enough to take the weight off the seat. And then you can sway the knees side to side, finding a little bit more space in the low back. Letting gravity pull gently down on the hips so that we're not compressing anywhere in the spine. Good, and then press even more down into the hands. The knees come up and the feet press to the mat. Walk the hands in front of you. And then big toes come to touch, inner edges of the feet come to touch, knees go super wide, or as wide as you can get them. And then maybe the hands stay here, maybe right underneath you, maybe they walk a little bit more forward, forehead comes down towards the mat. Squat pose, variation of malasana. Yeah, just staying with the breath. And then walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, and you'll press down into the feet and the heels to lift the seat up. And if you're not at the front of the mat, you can take a step or two to get there. We'll take a half lift here. Look forward, find length in the spine. Hands can come to the shins. On your exhale, hands come to the mat. Just step your right foot back behind you and find a low lunge. If you have blocks or something that you want to put under the hands here, if that would make this more accessible, now is your time. And then look forward. And we're just gonna slide ourselves forward and back. So on your inhale, you'll just slide a little bit forward, come to the tip of your right toe, the back toe. On your exhale, just slide back, come to the ball of the foot. Twice more, breathe in, slide forward. Breathe out, slide back. Just little subtle movements. Inhale, slide forward, just sneaking the hips open. Breathe out, slide back. And then from here, breathe in, straighten your left leg any amount. Left toes are gonna turn to your right and the hands are gonna walk between the feet. You're in a wide leg straddle here. Press your left hand down in front of the face onto the floor, or again, if you have a block or a book and you need to bring the floor closer, by all means do that. And then the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling for a little twist here. Gaze can go up or to the side. Good, and then you might flip the hand and take the arm behind the back, reaching for the inner edge of your left hip. Good, and then release that arm, reach it forward and down. Replace your left hand with the right and take the left arm up. Just finding a little bit more space in the chest, opening up the legs and the hips. And then you can flip that hand as well and take the hand behind the back, reaching for the inner edge of the right hip this time. Good, and then release the hand, reach it forward and down. And then now we're gonna walk the hands back to a low lunge, but we'll just keep the hands, both hands inside the foot. So we're in a bit of a lizard shape here. So this might be good for most of us. Some of us can tap the back knee down. You can untuck that back toe as well. This might be a place that many of us stay. If you want a little bit more of an opening in the outer left hip, you can turn those left toes to the left, just a little bit. And then this left hand can come up onto the inner thigh, so above the knee. And then you could just gently guide this left knee further to the left. Breathe. Try to soften the face. Good, and then step this left foot back down onto the mat. Turn the toes forward. Both hands come to the mat. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then step to plank pose. Left foot steps back. And then we'll bring our right knee up towards our right wrist and set the shin down onto the mat. We're just gonna come into a half pigeon pose here. You can have a nice bend in this right knee. Stay lifted on the hands here. So some of us might be a little bit more lifted. Maybe you have the back toes tucked. Good, and then lean onto your right hip and swing this left leg all the way around and come to a cross leg seated position. So if this is tough for you, you can always put a blanket or a pillow underneath the seat. Interlace the hands and then reverse them, palms press away. And then reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Wiggle the sides of the waist long. From here, the right hand will reach down towards the floor and the left hand will reach over towards the right. And then circle that left hand down towards the floor in front of you. The right hand will come to meet it. And just let yourself fold forward over the legs. Once again, you'll feel this in the outer left hip. So we're just bit by bit, gently finding some opening on the left side here. Stay with your breath. Good, and then walk the hands back up so you're in a seated position. From here, take the hands behind you, lean back, pick up your feet for a moment, and then we'll roll over the feet to find hands and knees. Step the feet back and just find a downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet for a moment here, opening up the backs of the legs. Good, and then as you continue to pedal the feet, we'll just start to take little steps towards the front of the mat. Little steps, taking your time. When you get to the top, hands come to the shins, take a half lift. On your exhale, hands come back to the mat, bend the knees and step your left foot back behind you. So you're gonna do this low lunge shape again. Look forward for this and then breathe in, slide yourself forward, come to the tip of your left toe, your back toe. Exhale, slide back, come to the ball of the foot. 2 more times like this. Breathe in, just slide forward. Breathe out, slide back. Try to use the breath here. Inhale, forward. Exhale, slide back. Breathe in, straighten your right leg any amount. Breathe out, right toes turn to the left. Walk the hands between the feet. This time, we're gonna walk the hands forward so you're almost in a super wide leg down dog. And then you can look forward a little bit here and you'll breathe in, wiggle the sides of the waist long. Breathe out, you'll just bend the knees any amount, both knees together. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees. So nice. Inhale, straighten the legs, and then walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Look forward. And then we'll come back to a lizard shape at the front of the mat. So the hands walk forward, both hands stay inside the right foot. Come to the ball of your left foot behind you. Good, and then you can tap that left knee down and untuck the toes. Yeah, nice. Some of us might stay here. If you stay here, think about reaching the sternum bone forward and up a little bit, just gently, because that will allow you to shift the hips a little bit more forward, and you can find the opening in the front of the left leg and in the right hip. If you want to take it a little further, the right toes will turn towards the right, and maybe this right hand comes to the inner edge of your right thigh, so above the knee. And then you can just gently nudge this right knee away from you, and the torso can lean back a little bit. You can even come to the outer edge of that right foot. Make sure you're staying with your breath. Good, and then release this. Press the foot back to the mat, the right foot, right toes turn forward. And then tuck your left toe, lift your left knee, and we'll step to plank pose. So right foot steps back. Good. And then the left knee comes forward and comes down to the mat right behind the left wrist. Keep a nice big bend in that left leg. And all of us will be at different variations. Some of us will be lifted up, some hips will come down towards the mat further and untuck the back toes. Keep the hands on the mat either in front of you or maybe you bring them to the sides. Good, and then sink the hips to the left side and swing that right leg all the way around and cross the right shin in front of the left. Once again, maybe a blanket underneath the hips. Interlace the fingers. Try to take the funky way, the way that you normally don't. It'll feel a little weird. And then invert the hands and press the palms away from you and reach the hands up and overhead. Wiggle the sides of the waist long. Good, and then left hand comes down towards the floor. Right hand reaches over towards the left. Then make a big circle with the right hand and the left hand will come forward. Both hands reach forward in front of you. Let that head fall heavy. Stay with your breath. Some of us might be lifted up a little bit more. Some of us it might be nice to come to the forearms. Find what works for you today. And if something seemed to work better or worse yesterday, try to loosen your grip on whatever image that presents for you. Try to stay with however you're feeling today. Try to send breath to wherever you might have tension. And see if you can envision the tension kind of melting away or dissipating. And then walk the hands back up. So nice. And then you'll lean back and then roll over the feet. Hands come to the mat and find downward facing dog one more time. Pedal the feet for a moment here. So nice. And the knees come to the mat, cross one ankle over the other, and then roll back over the feet and extend the legs long, just like we were at the beginning of this little video. And then hug the right knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side. And then from here, we'll just walk the hands forward towards the left foot, any amount. Once again, not really going all the way to your edge, being kind to the hamstrings here. We didn't do a ton of warming up, so this is still kind of a warm-up stretch here in the leg. So many of us will be, not in much of a forward fold, which is where you want to be. There's no need to strain, no need to overwork anything or overstretch, especially. And then come back up to sit. Hug your right knee in towards the chest and release the leg long. Hug the left knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side. And then lift the rib cage up, off, and away from the pelvis. And then you'll just walk your hands towards your right leg. Or towards your right foot, rather. So almost as if you're lining up your sternum with the leg. Just letting yourself fold any amount. Staying with your breath. Not taking this stretch too far. And walking the hands back up to center. Hug the left knee into the chest and then extend both legs long. And then we'll bring both knees into the chest, let the knees open, soles of the feet come to the mat, hands come to the inner edges of the feet, and then bring the elbows towards the sides. And we'll fold forward over both legs this time. Once again, sending breath where there's tension. No need to take this too far. Maybe some of us are just reaching our chest just a little bit forward towards the direction of the toes. And then slowly come back up. Use the hands to scoop the knees towards one another. And then catch yourself behind the knees and just roll yourself gently down onto your back. From here, take the feet a little bit wider than the hips, enough so that the knees can knock in on one another. And then we'll take the arms or hands up towards the ceiling and cross your right arm in front of your left and just drape the arms over the chest. So you'll bend at the elbows and the hands will come down towards the shoulder blades. And just allow this to be a gentle, sweet posture. Allow the body to continue to release tension. And then we'll take the left arm in front, just switching, staying with the breath. So nice. And then heel toe the feet in towards the center, just hips width distance, so there'll still be some distance between the feet. And pick up the right foot and extend the leg long and bring the heel to the mat. And then same with the left, extend the leg long. And then arms come by the sides, palms face up. Feel a knuckle or two on the mat. Windshield wiper the feet, just to relax the legs a little bit more here. And then once you've relaxed them, just let the feet splay to either side. Let them fully release. Let the body get heavy. And find this final pose of Shavasana. So I'm going to sign off here, but you're welcome to stay in the Shavasana all the way up to 5 minutes. That's what I would recommend if you have time for it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste, yogis. Opening up the hips is a great way to relieve anxiety, but we also hold tension in other parts of the body like the shoulders and the neck. So if you want to continue to unwind and unclench the whole body, check out my Yoga for Shoulders video right here on YouTube. Give it a try and I'll see you there.